Good day, everybody. It's Max, and welcome back to the Dyson Sphere Program, Destiny. That's right, where we're going for all the achievements and all the things here in 2022. And in this particular case, with the blue, red, and yellow science now up and running, we are now moving on to the Mark II Mall Hub and the Mark II Smelter Hub. And of course, we want to upgrade those because we're going to do a little bit of proliferation at the same time. So let's get to it. And we're back as I'm having a quick look at the power, just making sure everything is running good and, you know, behaving, right? Because we like behaving power. We don't like it when it's misbehaving. So today we want to talk about, now that we got yellow science up and running, we want to talk about upgrading the hub mall and, of course, talking about the proliferator. Now, it's a bad addiction. Getting the spray all over you makes you feel warm and fuzzy, and so it's kind of a scary thing. Actually, it's very scary. But let's have a look at that mall first. Now, of course, the Smelters Mall, of course, in the beginning has each 5 of our classics, right? Our steel, we got steel, we got our iron, we got the circuit boards, we got our copper going, and of course they're making magnetic rings in the rings, and then of course we have our glass being made along with the stone bricks. We've now added a couple more rows, and I always add these to my Mark II smelter mall, and that of course is now the titanium rows for titanium ingots and titanium alloy, and then of course the silicon ingots and the silicon crystal. And of course we've now added these rows to the smelters mall, and that is because we now want to take those extra components and add these to the mall for the version 2 mall. And as you can see there, we got proliferators. They're an addiction, let me tell you. It's bad. It's bad. Now, the one other thing that I do with the mall is I will add on 2 additional copper, because when it comes to version 2 of the hub mall, of course we need copper to become part of that. So of course we now have the silicon coming in, we have the titanium coming in, we have copper now coming in, and we have coal coming in. Now, coal's the new one, but we'll get back to that. Well, it's not that new, but it's got a lot more use now, all right? So, of course, as mentioned, we left this strip down the center of the mall for later versions, right? For the later version of the game, when we got more stuff researched and we want to be able to get into that higher tier stuff. Well, now that I've got that higher tier stuff mostly researched, it was now time to fill out that strip of the mall. So, of course, starting from this end, of course, the proliferators did add a little bit of extra challenge because they required a few pieces, right? So, of course, they have exciters, steel, circuit boards, and of course they wanted the microcrystallite components. Now, we also use those in making chips, so that's not a big deal. That was always part of the plan anyway, but its positioning is slightly different, and that kind of made a little bit of a mess for a while, and I had to work that all out. But I got it worked out. I got it figured out, no problem. And in this case, as mentioned, the mall was like short by 1, so I've added it to the end. And as you can see here, down the center strip, down the center of the mall now, you can see now, of course, we have the components being made, and we still have the circuits, the processors being made. Now, those processors, of course, get shared around a little bit, right? We've always been sharing those processors with making the logistics drones, which, of course, it's doing as we speak. And, of course, to make them logistics drones, we needed to have it making these thrusters. Now, the thrusters, of course, needed this copper. The steel, of course, we can make anytime by just adding down a smelter and then grabbing the iron off the line. So we do that, and of course the copper, and of course we're good to go there. And now with circuit boards on the other side, of course, we now have drones being made, and of course they're going to continue to make those drones as we need them. Now we also needed these circuits, these processors, of course, for actual logistics stations. Now these are your planetary logistics stations. These aren't your fly-by-wire logistics stations. And I'm missing a thing. Yes, I am. I have unplugged you. My bad. Listen, we're gonna plug you back in. There you go. So we plugged that back in, but we don't want too many of those. No. Don't let him get all excited, because he'll get excited. He'll make like a 400 towers. We only want to make a few of them. And you know what? I'm gonna grab my 100 right now. I'm gonna grab my 200 right now, because he tends to get really excited. He'll just take everything. So in this particular case, of course, we have it now making planetary logistics, which of course we're going to make some of the bigger towers here in a sec. Now to do that, of course, we needed to have the purple people eaters, as I like to call them, particle colliders, because they look like little purple people eaters. That's what they do. And this machine here actually does both functions. Now, when it's not making purple people eaters, it's making solar panels. And that's the nice part about, again, using all the inputs of your lines that are available. So, of course, the purple people eaters and solar panels just tend to need almost the exact same stuff. Okay? So, of course, hey, no problem. We just share the machine and we just flop it back and forth whenever we need it. Now, in this particular case, it is eating purple people eaters really bad, so we are going to flop it over here, because it's like, hey, just calm down with that stuff, all right? Now, one thing I don't have proliferated is these, and what I should do is I should actually get these proliferated, because now this is not getting a bonus, right? We have 2 to 3 products getting bonuses, but the graphene is not, so we don't get any bonus out of that. But I will fix that. I'll come up with a solution shortly for that. Oh, let me tell you, it's an addiction. It's an addiction. Of course, this is now, we're getting into the part of the mall. And so this part here has pretty much stayed the same as my previous mall, except for the addition that we now are going to make the actual sprayers here, right? The spray coaters. So I had to add this little extra line, kind of shove a few things a little tighter together, and that's okay. Nothing really big there. Now, on this side, of course, this is where we get into making Mark III belt. Now, we've made up to Mark III sorters and Mark II belt, no problem. But Mark III belt, of course, required, of course, supermagnetic rings. And, of course, supermagnetic rings, of course, required the motors, which is why we always box the motors here alongside with the Mark II belt, so as we could always take those motors later to use them in the supermagnetic rings. Of course, we needed just actual magnet rings without the wire on them, and we also needed energetic graphite. And so of course we've done that, and of course now we have of course belt. Now the mall was designed, the thing is, the mall was designed before the proliferators came along, right? So if I was I'm actually going to have to do another mall redesign, because the only way you can proliferate something is when it's on a belt, right? So this direct feed system, which you usually use in a mini mall type scenario, doesn't work because nothing can get sprayed. But that did not stop me, mister, from trying my hardest. So this is usually where it ends, right? This is usually where we stop, right? So I usually have this extra room here. I throw in a couple of rings and a little bit of energetic graphite, and we're good to go. And we let it do a thing. Well, darn it! Now I've got all this stuff. I had all this new stuff I wanted to try out. So of course I just shoved it in here. I wrenched it in here really hard, but man, is it ever working some nice. Now, as you can see, so the Mark I stuff, all right, so the Mark I stuff, of course, is being made by coal, which is, of course, already cycling around on itself, right? But I didn't cycle Mark 1 stuff on itself. I cycled it into Mark 2, right? So the Mark 1 stuff, of course, goes into Mark 2, creates Mark 2 stuff, and then it then goes through the sprayers. Now the sprayers, of course, are getting all the pieces, right? So we spray the diamonds, we spray the graphene, we spray the coal, we spray the actual Mark 1 proliferation spray. You name it, we spray it. We're spraying it. There's the coal on the other side, of course, and then all the stuff and the things. We spray it all, right? Now, the one thing I don't spray is the actual proliferator too, but I'm not sending it anywhere. I'm just sending it into the sprayer, so I don't know if it actually would do anything if I ever actually spray itself, right? I guess I could experiment with that to see if spraying itself before actually sending it into a sprayer to spray something else sells. I don't think that's going to make any difference, but hey, this is all new stuff. So in this particular case, we are taking that spray and we are, of course, spraying all the things. Now, of course, let's skip that line for a second. Of course, one of the first thing we're spraying is all the primary lines, right? All the raw resources. So we're spraying all the gears, the magnetic rings, all the circuit boards, right? We're spraying the iron that's coming through, and of course, I'm not spraying. Why is that not spraying? You should be sprayed. Oh, it's because it hasn't moved. I haven't used any stone in so long. This has not moved yet. That's why I actually have to. If I start pulling stone off this though, yeah, see there it is. See, sprayed. I was gonna say, it's just that we actually haven't used anything with stone in it. Now, of course, that comes around here, and of course we catch these other lines. So of course we're catching the titanium, we're catching the silicon, we're catching the copper, and the coal now gets caught down here. Now coal is getting caught down here, but this, I wanted these magnetic rings to be efficient, right? Magnetic rings are a pain. They're slow to make. You need lots of them for lots of things. They're a bit of a pain. So I thought, you know what? The one thing I'm really going to focus on getting super juiced up is these crazy magnetic rings. And sure enough, that's what this does. This does all the things to get them all proliferated. And of course, even the rings coming in, we get it all juiced up. And of course, that way we're getting a bonus one out of every 5, right? So every top 5 turns, we're getting a bonus 6 one. And of course, it is paying dividends. Paying them dividends. Here we go. We'll even crank that box open. So I don't try to let these fill up too much, but of course we like it when it's filling the boxes because, hey, the more it fills boxes, the less we can pump out something really quick, like if I need a lot of Mark III belt all of a sudden. Now, I'm not using Mark III belt yet, but I will be shortly. So, of course, we'll be transferring into that. But now, what we want to do now, of course, is we want to get into planetary logistics. So, yes, I do want to. There's the criminal planet right there. Look, it's sinking in the distance. I can see it over there in the left corner. So. The thing is that I have done a lot of running back and forth manually, of course, to get the titanium and, of course, the silicon ores from that other planet. Well, I don't want to do that anymore. Nope, we ain't doing that no more. So we're gonna actually have a little bit of us getting a little bit of planetary zoom to get it over here and get all the things. So I'm going to take a cut here. Now that I've shown you the version 2 upgraded mall along with the version 2 upgraded smelters mall, and of course now even with a little bit of spray juice. Oh, I love the spray juice. The spray juice all over it. Let me take a cut here. I'll bring you back, and when I do, we're going off planet to actually have our first planetary logistics. Hold on a sec. Okay, so I'm over here at Yellow Science. And of course, over here at Yellow Science is where we're making the titanium things to get the titanium stuff so as the Yellow Science can have its titanium. right? But I'm a little tired of flying back and forth. So what we've been doing, of course, is we have now just crafted up the required towers and logistics ships to get that over here. And so now what we've done is we are now going to get ready to put these towers in. Now, this is a temporary setup. I don't like having planetary logistics towers scattered all over the place. I am only doing this because of resources, because we don't have a whole bucket load of towers everywhere. But my planetary tower logistics, I usually like having set up at one location and then let it distribute across the planet to local towers. But we'll take care of that soon enough. Right now, of course, we want titanium coming in, so remote demand that stuff. All right, we're going to demand that remotely, and we're also going to local supply it. So not only are we going to take it right out of this machine, but we are actually going to supply a tower over at the mini smelters mall, right? But we are also going to supply it here just by belt. So in this particular case, we're going to kind of come in here, we're going to take this belt and we're going to shove that out, and we're going to do something like that. Excellent. Now, in this case, we're also going to get it to bring in some of that nice silicon, and so we're going to remote demand that. We're going to supply that with 2,000. Now, in this case, though, I'm not pulling any lines out of this, so I'm not too worried about that. But we are going to have to get it some logistics drones because it's got to fly this stuff down there. So we're going to take 5 of these ships and we're going to slam them in there. Look at that. Ta-da! Awesome. And of course, we're not gonna let the charging power go too crazy here, because we are still running on mostly coal power generation. It's just fancy coal power at the moment. It's nothing too fancy. So of course, we're gonna let it do that there for a minute, and we're gonna pick up a couple of them drones and add them over here, and we're gonna pick up a tower and set that up too. So we'll fly on over here. We are actually playing at game speed at the moment. We are not playing using the speed mod, which is actually kind of cool, because that means, hey, we're not actually like racing around the map. If I use the speed mod now, in fact, it's very hard to use speed 3 now because it's almost too fast. It's like zoom. Oh wow, like you're almost done, right? Now in this particular case, how much do you got in there? Oh, you don't have a whole lot left. Yeah, we can just take you out of there. We're gonna take these out, and we're gonna take that out of there. And this is where we're gonna take our one little tower. We're gonna stick that in. There we go. Look at that. Ooh, shiny. And of course we want that to come out. In fact, you know what? Let's add the filters to this first. So we are going to demand that, and we're also going to demand that. And again, we'll demand that by the 1,000, because the other tower will get 2, and that should be enough, I think. Now we want this to be that, coming out there. Nope, that is not that. that is definitely not that, mister. You do that. That, my friend, is for acid. But you know what? We'll add that to the list. You bet. And we'll demand that. Now, we'll demand that, but we're only going to demand like 100 at a time. Yeah, let's just do that. And I'll show you what we'll do with that. All right, so let's slap that in there. We'll let it build up a little charge. I guess we need a line to come out for that acid too, because now we're going to add that. Yep, right there. One acid line, and then of course now I got to fix up the other sides and have it coming out with the titanium. So we'll just take care of that line off of there, and now we're going to have no. Give me the belt. Give me this. Put that there. Excellent. We got to go get some drones. Oh yeah, and. No. Well, like 50%. Don't be wasting my power, dude. Like, if these drones aren't full, I don't want you flying anywhere. You know what? Make it 100. That drives me crazy. 10% in drones. It's like, no. You'd better be taking stuff somewhere. Now, we do need some drones. So, in this particular case, we're going to come over here. We're going to grab 50 of these drones. And we're going to just slam them. Yeah, we'll just put them in this one tower. We'll let it make the requests and go over and fly back and forth. I'm not putting 50 drones in each tower. That's, I mean, you know, for the numbers we're dealing with here, that's way overkill. It's way overkill. So that should now handle that. I'm going to get one more tower for that acid. Because I decided, hey, you know what? We should hook up the acid at the same time. All right, that's fine. So we'll fly up here, we'll hook up the acid, and then we'll fly off to the other planet and get them set up. So acid, of course, we're using this. This is a temporary setup, right? We're hoping to find a volcanic ash planet, bring in lots of acid from the outside world, you know, all good, all the things. So we'll set this up here just as a temporary thing. Yeah. You can just kind of shove yourself right in there, mister. We'll take acid, but I don't want no more than 300. Yeah, 300's probably fine. In fact, how about we help you out a little bit? Yeah, like there's 540 right there. Oh, and guess who's coming up to fly for it? Yeah, no, don't stop that. Stop that, mister. You don't want any more acid here. All right? Yeah, here. You can have all this acid too. There you go. Have that. No. Dude. You can have all the acid. Yeah, I know. I'm being really nice. Are the drones coming up here yet? Yeah, they're really slow. Man, they're some slow. Okay, but we'll live with them for now. I got to work on their research a little bit, I think. We'll put that in there, but of course it's not going to take any more in because hey, it's already way overstocked. So now that we know that we have some very slow flying drones, which is actually a little sad, but anyway, they are getting here. I mean, don't be teasing the drones. You know, they're going to get here. They're going to get here, okay? We'll slap that in there. We'll let a few more drones fly over here and make them cry a little bit. So with that, let's now head on over to the other planet. We'll get them set up. So let's get into space, do all the things. The poor drones. I feel bad. I got to work on their research. I'm working on their research right now. If you look in the corner, see drone capacity, speeds, and things. But to have that, I need the yellow research, and for the yellow research, we got to have. It's a catch-22 of things. You got to have one thing for the other thing, and it's a very difficult thing. There's a lot of planetary logistics. See, we're moving 376 meters long. Oh, okay, there you go. Well, they got to move a lot of things. All right, so here we go. Now, it's the same here. I usually move all planetary logistics to the top of a planet so as I can gauge out what's going on, right? So if I have interplanetary logistics, I put the interplanetary tower at the top, and then I usually just pipe the stuff from around the planet to the top of the planet and then ship it out. So in this case, it's kind of the beginning days, so we're not going to get too crazy with this. What we'll do is we'll just shove this around here like so, and you can go into the tower like that. Oh, I realize I didn't get enough of that, so now I gotta come over here. Listen, just give me this, give me that, do that. Are you gonna figure that out? No, I didn't think you would. All right, there you go. Can you figure that out now? All right, good. And what we'll do is we'll probably turn these boxes around just to kind of let them empty out. And we'll swing this one up this way. Do that. Do this. Do that. And into the box you go. Hey, there we go. Now, yes, you. That's right. That's right. We're establishing local supply, remote supply. It'll be just local storage here. And again, I don't want it doing any more than 2,000, I think. So, where is my other ships? we'll take those, we'll shove them in there. Now, they're going to ship them from Planet Max anyway, but we're going to charge up that tower. And, of course, that's going to put the strain on the system, I'm sure, because I don't know if we're doing a lot of power here. Yeah, it's like losing its mind. Yeah, okay, so let's get the silicon up here so as we can get it matched in. Oh, nice. I don't even... The lines are already running in the right direction for me, so I like that. So we'll just come up here, come over here, and we'll just come straight up into you. Look at that. And yeah, you do you up like this, do that and this. Yeah, it's nice having like 7, 8 robots at a time now. Yeah, I did. Titanium ore. I know, isn't that pretty amazing? Yeah, from 3 to 2 for the first time. I know. Pretty crazy. And in this case, we're going to do the same thing now with that. We're going to store it locally and resupply it. And again, I don't want it doing any more than 2,000. Shouldn't be any need to. I see some have already taken off with the supplies, so we should now, if I zoom out a bit. Oh, yes. Do the flying of the things back and forth. Oh, yeah. Look at that. It always makes me so happy to get logistics up and running. It's like the coolness factor. And that's right. I need you to do science. Let's go back and make sure it's doing that science for us. So let's jimpy up in the screen here. There we go. Zip back on over to Planet Max, and of course we'll get to see it's all in working stride. Now again, these are probably going to need upgrades. Upgrades, people, upgrades. They're all going to need upgrades. But as long as they're doing... listen, guys. Listen, I promise I'm going to upgrade your speed. You all look really sad. And I feel really bad about that. Almost. Like, you know, yes. Drop off the green stuff. Look at that. Yes, store that right up. Okay. Yeah, like, you know, I'm sorry, guys. I will work on the speed. I really will, you know. But I don't have to run back and forth anymore for the science of the things. And yes, these are now, you do have some coming in, right? Yes, you do. And of course, you have, really? Is it taking that long to get guys to run back and forth here with the stuff? Oh my goodness. Listen, I'm so sorry. We're working on your research right now. Look, research, logistics carrier engine, flight speed. I promise I will queue up as much flight speed as we can get. Okay? It's a given. No. Keep that going. Keep that going, mister, because we need these poor guys. You know, we need these poor guys. Yeah, queue that up. No, that's sorter cargo. No. We don't want that. I want this, right? We got that. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna let them carry as much as they want. You know, we'll let them queue up because I feel bad for these guys. Okay. I've ignored their research for the systematic doing of the things. There we go. Can you guys fly a little faster now? Maybe? Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to land here for a second. We're going to do a zoom out because I always like seeing the drones fly for the first time in space. It's always a cool thing. And, of course, we're going to come back here momentarily where we'll do a little bit of wrap up as we have a look at a few new features that we got coming up because, you know, purple science is going to happen. And with the purple science, of course, we're going to have the purple things to make the purple science, which means we got to have more machines. As you can see, we're building down here. So I'll bring it back shortly. We're going to have a look at them machines. Catch you in a sec. You got to love seeing yellow science running at full capacity for the first time. You betcha. It's pumping away. And them drones are getting faster by the minute. Thank goodness. I felt bad. I felt bad for them, okay? It wasn't, you know, they were a little I mean, they're still not super fast, but they're getting there. They're getting there. You know, so it's good to see the yellow science now fully functional, as we've now dedicated enough resources to generating full yellow science. Now, where does that leave us for the next episode? Well, that leaves us on to the purple science. Yeah, and purple science, of course, requires a couple of things. Well, one of those things we're already making. In fact, if we fly over here just for a quick sec, and we'll actually use a little Mark II for the Mark II speed for this. Of course, we're not making it over here on that scale, but we are making microprocessors right now, and of course, we are using those over here in the Mark II ball for doing different things. But we, of course, are now going to make those on a much larger, grander scale, and of course, that's what we got going on down here. Of course, down here, this will be all for the next episode, where we hook in some major processing power, and we hook in some major fiber optic cable, and of course we're going to power all that fiber optic cable with all the things here, and of course getting that all up and running, and hopefully I think along with this, I think we'll probably have to start this. Yep, I think so. I think that's going to have to get started and get up and running. Now, when we do that, of course, obviously, this little setup up here will be replacing the hydrogen out of that. So, of course, this hydrogen up here can just be burnt off all the time. Like, we'll add a lot more generators to this setup. In fact, we'll probably ship the hydrogen away somewhere to be burnt off with generation, probably somewhere's over there. But with that, purple science up on the menu. Now that we have the blue, the red, and the purple, what's going on with red, actually? Red's looking a little sloppy here at the moment. It's a graphite problem. Well, we'll just follow that all the way back to, yes, it is. It's a graphite problem. Well, I will fix that. So as we get that, you know, well, actually, I don't have to fix that because our solution is about to come online anyway. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. The solution is about to happen. When this fires up, we will have all the graphite we want. Betcha. I'm Max. This, of course, is Dyson Sphere Program Destiny, where I'm going for all the achievements and all the crazy things. And, of course, we've got lots of science and the blinky lights going on now, don't we? It's all pretty crazy. But we are running a little short on that power. I see my faster drones are probably draining the power outage out a little bit. So I'll have to definitely keep an eye on that. And, of course, I will see you on the next one. Take care.